Today I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. You're going to need one of the 2x4 parts of the board, two 1x6s, and two 1x4 slats. First thing I do is find the center of this piece. By doing that, I'm going to mark each edge of it. I'm going to measure that. It's 9 inches, so we'll go 4.5. And I've been making these pieces 12 inches long. And that's going to be my sides. And the front and back pieces will be 20 inches long. I'm going to take these over to my miter saw and get them cut. Now that I got my pieces cut, I'm going to start putting it together. You're going to want to pre-drill these holes. I've got this drill bit that's got the countersink on it. I'm going to screw this bottom piece on first to kind of hold it all in place. This will have to come off later. Next, I want to screw on the bottom back piece. Then we'll do the top piece on the back. Now this next piece will need to be cut 17 inches long. This is going to fit inside it like that. But before I screw this down, I need to put some pocket holes in it. In order to put pocket holes in it, you need a pocket hole jig. There's your pocket holes. I'm going to space these 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Now you don't have to use pocket hole screws if you don't have a pocket hole jig. You can take a 2.5 inch screw and just screw it in from the outside. Same thing. Now before you pull your little pieces out you're using as a spacer, you can use those to hold this board in place where you want it. Now that I got that together, I'm going to take the bottom piece off and drill some holes in it. So we know the inside of the rack is 17 inches. So what I did was I took my calculator and I took 17 and divided it by 4 because I want to put 4 glasses in here. And I come up with the measurement of 4 1/4. So I'm going to mark these holes spaced out 4 1/4 inches away from each other to make them all even. So we're going to start, we know that the board's 1.5 inches, and half of 4 1/4 is going to be 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 plus 1.5 inches is 3 5/8. 3 5/8, add another 4 1/4 because that's your spacing. It'll be 7 7/8, 12 1/8, and then 16 3/8. That's your measurements. Now I'm going to center these holes in the board. From the center of the board, 3.5 inch piece, so the center is going to be 1 3/4 inch. Now I'm going to drill these holes with an 1 1/4 inch Forstner bit, and what I do is I put a board down and put another board on top of it, and I press tight to keep it from blowing out on the back side. Now I'm going to cut these slots 1 inch wide. What I did is I got the center marks off of these, and I'll just go 1/2 inch off each side of these lines, and I'll get my 1 inch centered with that. Now I'll just take these over to my miter saw and I'll just cut the inside of those lines out. Alright, she's all put together. This is what the bottom looks like with those holes and those notches in it. That's so the glasses will slide in and out. It'll hang on the wall. Wine bottles here, glasses slide in there. These pallets I got, man, the wood looks like it's almost new. It's not aged very much. So what I'm gonna do is get my torch and burn it, and then I'm gonna put like a gray stain on it to make them look older than they are. Now I'm not gonna take the whole thing apart. I'm just gonna take this front piece off and this bottom piece off. I think that should be enough to get all the areas we need to get with the torch. Now I'm just going to use a MAP gas torch for this because that's what I have. You can use propane or butane, whatever you want to use, man. If it burns, it'll get it done. For stain, I'm going to use this Minwax Classic Gray number 271. Alright, there's the finished product. As you can see, it holds 4 glasses. These are kind of small. I did try a bigger one. Bigger ones do fit. It'll hold 5 of these bottles that are 750 milliliters. And I think it turned out alright. It doesn't look as rugged and rough as like a worn out pallet. I think the next one I build will be with an actual worn pallet. So it'll have more of a rustic feel, but I think this one turned out okay. Thanks for watching.